Alright, quick update for Axie Infinity. So it's been a couple of days or so since we made our last update for Axie. Axie has really just decided to be a stable coin for the past week or so. It is just accumulating within a range right now. So, I'll talk about what I talked about in the last video, and that is the fact that you are down to your last legs really on Axie Infinity, and it's the same for SLP. SLP has a very similar chart. We're actually emming out on SLP coming down to our last line of support. Axie Infinity is doing the exact same thing. Obviously these two coins are linked. You can also see Axie is putting in this M pattern right now. We have had a slight bounce from the neckline. I mean, you can draw it like this and you can see that, we've come down to the neckline. We've had a slight bounce. Although we're really not out of the water for now. We do need to keep our eye on this neckline down here at approximately basically $45 exactly. If we break through $45, we really only have this absolute wick that we put down here. If you can see, if we move this down, you can see we actually had a wick all the way down to as low as $42. So really, this is a super simple video for Axie. $42 needs to hold. I'm actually personally not looking to trade this right now. I really want Axie to make a market decision whether it is going up or down. Right now the trend is your friend and we're moving down. You can also argue this is also forming to be like a bearish flag playing out right now. If I draw this over to the top, whether you want to draw it from here or here, it's up to you. I'm just going to draw it from here. I'm not that interested in the breakdown target of this. I will give it just for the interest of this video though. This is predicting a move down to $22. I don't think we're going to go that low in my opinion. I think if we do break down below the floor of $42, we do have a strong level of support at approximately $39. If we zoom out to the macro time frame, I mean, let's see if we've got another 786. I don't think it'd move down too much. Yeah, it only moved down like a few cents, so there's not really much point talking about that. Although we do have a bounce point up here. This was previous resistance. When we flipped support, we did go on a big rally. So I imagine this would be a good area to bounce from. So, we do have a plethora of potential bounce points for Axie Infinity. Some are more preferred than others. I'm sure a lot of people would just prefer to come down to $42 and get out of here if that's what we want to do. But right now, obviously, the trend is your friend. We are in a downtrend. We're in a bear flag right now. If we do want to break bullish, we'd really need a daily close. I could say a daily close back above this this bear flag that we're in. But then, if we did come up and we had a close and we ended up getting rejected from 49, which is the short-term moving average of these EMAs, then you could just end up drawing the bull flag with another touch point like that. So, in my opinion, Axie is really on hot water right now. There's really nowhere apart from these daily EMA ribbons that I'd feel confident in re-entering the market for Axie. That would put us, miles above the 4-hourly EMAs. In fact, these 4-hourly EMAs have been a solid area of resistance ever since they came into play in the 6th of April. You can see every time we come down, we have these bounces, we try to take out the 4-hourly EMAs, and it just doesn't work out for us. These are currently coiling up, getting ready for a big move. Either a big rejection back down to the downside, probably through the floor of this this bear flag, or we could potentially be expecting a pump above the long-term moving average on the EMA. We would have to contend with the bear flag again though, so I don't really feel like saying, oh, big deal, we can have a move up to $48. I'm not really interested in these couple of dollar moves. I'm more interested in the macro moves that are to be in play. If we also do look at the daily squeeze bomb, you can see this is calling that a bottom is near. This is a macro indicator calling momentum shifts, and like I said, it is a macro indicator. It does work pretty well to call bottoms, but it doesn't call them at the exact time. You can see here on the 28th of February, it called that we were having a momentum shift. We went 28% up, then we corrected 28% and came down another 7% with that. But then obviously you can see we proceeded to put in a almost 60% rally. So these momentum shifts, they really do work. However, they can take their time. If we extrapolate how long it took from when the previous time we called a bottom was to when we actually started moving, you can see it called it on the 28th, but we proceeded to put in a low 14 days later. So if we just extrapolate that, when have we put in the bottom? Okay, I'm going to need to draw it again. So we put in the bottom here. So, you know, you could see this getting dragged on till, you know, early May potentially. And, you know, that would line up with what we've got in this bearish pennant as well. Either way, you know, if you're not aware, Axie and SLP did recently have a massive hack on the Ronin network. I can't remember the exact amount, but it was in the hundreds of millions. I believe it was the largest crypto hack that has ever happened. If I remember correctly, it was either 600 million or something like 900 million. I feel like it was one of the two, but yeah, I mean, even if it was 600 million, you could imagine that is going to put a damper on things in the Axie ecosystem for a while, SLP included. So I really don't think we're out of the hot water. I'm not willing to like blindly DCA while we're in these regions. And, you know, it'd be easy to say, oh, you know, we have a breakout of this and we'll go up to the 618 up to $66. But we've got a lot of resistance coming in. You know, we're not out of the water, in my opinion, until we do take out the daily EMA. Historically, whenever we've been in a downtrend, you can see the daily EMA has always been a huge area of resistance. And I'm sure when we came down to $90 and then Axie rallied all the way up to $110, people were getting out of bed, people were getting very excited. But as you can see, if I make the short-term moving average a bit thicker, you can see we just come up into the long-term moving average and then just have a massive leg to the downside. And again, on the daily, move into the daily EMAs, have a leg to the downside, move up, move to the downside, and then once again we tried to flip these, had a fake out and moved back to the downside. And we haven't had a fake out on Axie Infinity before, but Axie Infinity has the exact same chart as SLP. And if we look at SLP on the daily, if I get rid of the money flow, we'll add in the EMA ribbons. You can see we had a fake out down here for SLP. The only other time we flipped bullish was also a fake out, and these coins move in tandem. They basically have the exact same chart, you know, bar a few different insights, but they are following each other. They are basically a spitting image of each other. And as far as I can tell, trading based on these daily EMA ribbons is probably the easiest way to go. I wouldn't be confident to enter the market right now while we're below these EMA ribbons. The trend is your friend until the end, and if we do zoom out to the higher time frames, you can see these EMA ribbons have been bearish since $125. So if you just simply waited for a macro flip of the EMA ribbons, you know, sure, it might happen while we're up here at $56, but at least you're not buying up at $125. So, you know, down here at $45 compared to buying a confirmed breakout and retest of the EMA ribbons at like $55 is just a no-brainer for me. I mean, it's a 20% increase or so, but until we flip the daily EMAs, I really have nothing to say. We are emming out in the lower time frames. Bears are in control. We keep on running into the 4-hourly EMAs. You can also see we're forming mini M's along the way. We're just emming out, emming out. We've got another M pattern here. You know, greater M pattern here. It's not looking the greatest for Axie and SLP right now. So I'd be looking for a major trend reversal. I'll update you when that happens. But until then, I won't get bored of saying this. The trend is your friend until the end, and the macro trend is very much to the downside for Axie and SLP. So I'm about to record a SLP video, so I'm going to peace out now. Once again, none of this is financial advice. It is just my opinion on the market, and you've always got to do what's best for you. Cowboy out. Peace.